Hey guys, thanks for listening to the Showdown Podcast. We hope you enjoy episode 32 with our special guest, Brent Terhune. But before we get to the episode, we have learned a bit of sad news. Corey, why don't you talk about that?
Yeah, as we're recording today, we found out just yesterday that Wes Craven had passed away, and he was responsible for several great horror films throughout the 80s, and then with Scream even up into the late 90s. And he was an icon in the field, and one of my favorite directors. And so there were so many. As far as his movies go, you had Scream, Hills Have Eyes, Last House on the Left, Nightmare on Elm Street, Shocker. There were so many great ones, and I had no idea he was even sick, but I guess he was battling brain cancer. So. We lost an icon, and for that, the week on the 29th, October 29th, the week of Halloween, we're going to air our Wes Craven True Memorial episode. We don't know what movies we're going to battle yet. We'll figure that out, but it's going to be in honor of Wes. So, enough of the down stuff. We're going to bring the funny now. So on to episode 32.
He thinks he's
funny. You shouldn't lie to them.
The following podcast contains spoilers and adult language. Listener discretion is advised.
The Showdown Podcast with Corey and Vic. A debate on what movie is better, Corey's choice versus Vic's choice. They each plead their case and try to destroy the others. It's a combat of subjective opinion. I'm Brad Scott, your impartial judge, and as always, my say is final.
Welcome to Showdown episode 32, A Battle You Can't Refuse, featuring the Mr. Turkey himself, Brent Terhune. Today, the challenger, Vic Mr. Black and Angry Miller, and his pick, the Reservoir Dogs, versus the champion, the Corey Do I Amuse You Miller, and his pick, the Goodfellas. I'm your host, the Brad Scott. Salute.
Welcome to episode 32. We are blowing our budget on these voiceover guys, but damn it, they're just worth every penny. Welcome to the show. It's a battle you can't refuse. Corey has boldly picked Goodfellas, my second favorite movie of all time, and Vic, I don't think understood what we were doing, and picked Reservoir Dogs, but a good movie nonetheless. So
it's a mobster movie. I don't care what to say.
We are joined, our special guest, Mr. Turkey himself, Brent Terhune. Welcome to the show, Brent.
Hey, I wish this was a podcast I could have refused.
Look at that, out the gate. He has a new album dropping called That Fire Mixtape.
That Fire, yeah. I'm putting in all the Happy Meals at my job. Did you guys see that news story? The guy was putting his mixtape in all the Happy Meals.
Oh, I saw that. Yeah.
That's brilliant.
It's good marketing.
No, it is, yeah.
Brent has a new album, Mr. Turkey. Mm-hmm. It will be debuting August
7th
on iTunes, and you will have copies at shows, I'm imagining.
Yeah, and the release show is August 5th at the White Rabbit here in Indianapolis.
So for all of our overseas listeners, you'll have to just get the album on iTunes. But Patrick, that's the White Rabbit, and that's August 5th. I'm unfortunately going to be in Colorado, so I won't be able to be there. So Patrick, you'll have to find another ride.
What are you doing in Colorado?
I'm going to be very high. I'm going on vacation with my girlfriend's family.
Mm-hmm.
And, it's family vacation with a girlfriend. Is that the first?
Yeah.
Should be interesting.
No, I'm really looking forward to it. I'm not terrified whatsoever of being in an RV for 12 days with people who can normally get sick of me after like 2. So
well, I've been around her family and they're overly nice.
Yeah, I know.
It's too much.
It is. It really is. And I'm terrified. But Let's get to the battle. Vic, you're up first. So Reservoir Dogs.
To alleviate my compatriots' woes about whether or not this qualifies as a mafia movie.
Oh God, he's gonna pull up semantics from IMDb.
It's not semantics. It's what it is. It's rated as one of the top 10, the top 100 mafia movies on IMDb. So when I went through and said, I'm going to pick a movie that I like from a mafia movie, I went to IMDb, which we use on the regular, which half of your things are probably from anyway, and said, which one do I want to do?
What would Jesus watch in a while?
That's
we
true.
need to bring that
Do you
segment
think
back. That was fun.
that this
These
is on there?
movies should be. I'm on it.
We should have talked about that before.
What's the criteria for a mafia, if we're arguing?
There was no statement. It just had to be a mafia movie.
Okay.
So I put in mafia movie, and it came up. Reservoir Dogs was on the list, so it qualifies.
I do want
because apparently movie aficionados out there somewhere who have a huge business online and everywhere else that people go to for reference of movie things say that it's a mafia movie.
I'm also going to remind you that that's edited by random people too, much like Wikipedia. Only IMDb is actually monitored by people and review those first.
That are in what industry?
What is
who monitor it? People in the film industry monitor.
No, they're not film people. Okay. I mean, they know movies. That's it.
So you're saying that IMDb is not a good source of reference for anything we do here?
No, I'm not saying that.
Well, that's what you just said.
I'm just saying that they've got a track record. I've had
all the stuff that you've been quoting off of IMDb is a lie.
Not everything.
So all those facts that you like to throw out from IMDb is a lie?
I'll say this. I've got a short film that I did a few years ago. I produced it, and there's one person that's on there that I've tried to get taken off there because I don't even know who that person is. I've done it 10 times, and they still won't take them off.
Because you don't have the pull with IMDb to get them to do it.
You got beef.
I know.
Well, anyway, past that, mafia things aside, the idea of a mafia movie obviously has to have something to do, and when we talked about it, you said it had to have something to do with the mob and the mafia, which I believe that the guy who's setting up the heist in Reservoir Dog is a mafian wise guy.
It is listed,
mentioned several times.
It is listed on Wikipedia as a neo-noir black comedy crime thriller. I'm going to take issue with that right there. This is a cast full of crackers.
There's one black guy in it.
There is?
Yeah. The handler for Mr. Orange.
It's Tim Ross, cop.
His handler.
Yeah, I guess that dude.
Does he die immediately?
No, he lives through the whole thing.
He's like in 2 scenes.
So they're not playing
Actually, there's 4 of them. I counted them. There's 4 scenes of the black man in it.
Oh, is there 4?
Yeah, they actually dropped the N-bomb. You wouldn't believe. They dropped the N-bomb more than the black man is in the actual movie. So it all works out.
That's just Tarantino in general.
Exactly. There's nothing wrong with it. So
you know
this
what?
movie.
Why is Tarantino given a pass and then they crucify the Hulkster? You know,
Tarantino probably has a counter on Final Draft when he's typing. I only have 4 N-words.
I gotta add some more. Gotta go back and rewrite, revise.
Hey, we know when he does spell check. Do you think his spell check has already stopped referencing that?
There's no red lines under that anymore.
If he tries to type out the word night, it automatically corrects it.
Makes for some awkward text exchanges with Sam Jackson. When are we meeting? Tuesday. Are you talking PM?
Hold on, let me go back and edit that. But so this movie is basically about a group of guys who are going to knock over a diamond haul for a local wise guy who has brought them all in from different areas to try to make the heist as safe as possible so he won't get caught. Because the cops are already on him anyway. And he knows that he's close to being caught, so he figures if he gets these guys from all different places together, has them not know who each other are, have no references to anything. If one of them gets caught or something happens, then they can't lead him back to him. And it puts them together to do this jewelry heist. The heist is not actually shown in the movie, which is kind of cool, because you just kind of find out what happened with each group of people as they appear later on down the line at the next
I don't know.
spot.
Is it kind of cool, or is that like what people say when something's just different that they wanted to fit? It's kind of cool. I feel like that's just overly used expression.
Yeah, it's almost as if he didn't have enough money in the budget to get a jewelry store and said,
This
"Well,
coming
just
from
cut
the
it
man
out."
who last episode was like, they never really showed him killing anybody.
I don't know. What was the last episode?
Yeah. In the slasher episode where you're like, they never really showed him killing everybody, so that was an awfully cool thing that they did because it changed the way that people saw
you
movies.
did say that.
I did say that. But
Quiet. It's my time to shine. So as the movie goes on, you start seeing some of the guys pop back up. Tim Roth and who's Mr. Orange and Mr. White. You see them in the car. Tim Roth has been shot in the stomach and he's flipping the fuck out because he knows he's going to die. There's blood everywhere. And Mr. White's trying to calm him down, trying to get him to relax a little bit and explain to him that, look, you're not going to die right away. Let's get back to the hideout. Let's get this shit figured out and we'll take you somewhere and get you fixed. However, a gut shot's got to fucking hurt. I don't think I've ever seen anything that hasn't said a gut shot is the worst thing that could ever happen to you. So that had to suck.
Like with a gun?
Yeah. Well,
I think
you
there's
hit the
plenty
gut.
worse things. I think buried alive would be worse than getting shot in the gut.
Well, when you get buried alive and or shot in the gut, let me know.
Because buried alive, you'll go insane first, and then you just die at some point. Like that to me maybe the scariest thing in the world. Being buried alive.
Do you
I have
starve to
claustrophobia
death,
issues,
or
so
do you-
I'm going to die as soon as they cut that thing over my face.
I don't know. I mean, I guess it would depend on how, if
do you
you're getting any
asphyxiate?
oxygen. Yeah.
I think you would die of asphyxiation before you would die of
it'd get awful hot.
hunger.
It'd be hot.
You'd be in trouble because you'd be farting the entire time you were in there.
hot box?
Dutch oven. Warm himself up. So as they start coming back, they realize that something's gone wrong. Mr.
I would
Pink,
think
who
he
was
was chained to a chair and tortured, like having fingers cut off and limbs. I think slowly. I think
I'm
that
getting
would be
there.
way
I'm
worse
getting there. I've got some of that for you.
than
Hold on.
shot in the gut.
Well, like I said, when you get shot in the gut, let me know.
Falling off of a boat and or swimming around what's that movie? Open water, and the boat leaves you, and then you see sharks swimming around you, and then they start attacking you. I think that'd be worse than getting shot in the gut.
Being slowly lowered into a wood chipper.
Oh, way worse than getting shot in the gut.
Are we done yet?
Well, as soon as I stop thinking of things
I often feel like it's 2-on-1 in this place half the time.
That's what it seems like.
You should have seen last episode.
This is for hope.
What the fuck?
What you gonna do, Vic?
Apparently lose again. But so as these guys start coming back, Mr. White, Mr. Orange are the first ones to get back. Mr. Pink, who is Steve Buscemi, shows up. And he knows something's gone wrong. He knows that somebody fucking ratted on him. He's flipping out. The cops showed up before the alarm started. Before they heard the sirens, the cops were there. Somebody ratted him out. So he's flipping out. He's ready to shoot everybody. Anybody he sees, that's got to be the rat because he knows he's not the one. So Mr. White tries to calm him down. As time goes on, Mr. Blonde shows up. And that's Michael Madsen. Who, in this, he is probably the most violent, psychopathic one of them all. He walks in and he's just calm. Completely like, whatever. It's all good. He's the one who started shooting up the place and started the whole craziness in the jewelry store that no one saw. But everybody goes crazy, and they're talking about the fact that they probably should have shot him just to stop him from doing what he was doing so they could all get away. But cooler heads prevailed. They all just kind of ran for it. He shows up and he's just like, so now what? Where's everybody else? Other guys in the group, Mr. Brown got shot and killed. They never showed back up. So they're waiting for a nice guy to show up who is the son of the mob boss who hired them to, I'm looking at you, to do the heist. So he shows up finally and they're like, what's going on? But in between there, in Michael Madsen's character, Mr. Blonde, while he was escaping, took the time to capture a cop along the way and dragged him along with him, ties him to a chair, beats the crap out of him, cuts off his ear with a straight razor.
And then he talks into the ear.
Yeah. Then he has a conversation with it. Dude's fucking crazy. Then, if that's not bad enough, after slicing the dude's face and really fucking him over, he goes out to the car to go get a thing of gasoline and starts pouring it all over him, make sure he gets it in his ear to make sure he hears what the fuck he's talking about.
I just want to point out another thing that's worse than getting shot in the stomach.
So while all this is going on, Mr. Orange finally kind of snaps out of it as he's contemplating about to light this dude up. Mr. Orange kind of comes back to his senses and blows Mr. Blonde away, and admits to the cop that he is actually a cop. One of the best scenes in this movie is when he's realizing that he's going to be an undercover cop, but he's never done it before, and his black CO is explaining to him that he's going to have to learn how to be an actor. So he goes through this whole fucking 10-page story about this fake drug bust that he was in. And there's one scene in there that's like, I think is my favorite scene in the whole movie. He's talking to the rest of the group, and he talks about walking into this bathroom, and there's all these sheriff's officers and a dog and a police dog sitting in the bathroom, and he's talking about how he does this whole drug deal, but the imagery for it is basically he's standing in the bathroom with the cops there, he's telling the whole story, the cops are staring at him, the dog's barking at him. He just kind of keeps going along with it to show how cool he was, telling the story and how much he had remembered all of it, and they punctuated that whole scene with hand dryer, because he told them a little thing like whether there's a hand dryer in that bathroom or whether they use paper towel could get you killed. So they kind of punctuated that whole scene with him punching the hand dryer, which was really kind of cool. Which again, I say that, but whatever.
Do you know Madonna? This is just something I know.
Like the Virgin conversation?
Yeah, like she sent an album of her signed. Her erotica album, and she said to Quentin, "It's not about dick, it's about love." Madonna.
And that's all because at the beginning, when they're all sitting down eating, they have this whole long conversation about what Like a Virgin is about. Mm-hmm. And he goes on and on and on about how it's all about the fact that she is fucking some dude with a huge cock that she's never had before, and it's not that she's a virgin. It's like a virgin because she's going through the pain of dealing with that all over again. And so she's like, no, it has nothing to do with that. So she was fucking with him, which is, again, just another piece of the story.
He goes, dick. How many dicks is that? A lot.
So the movie progresses on, and they come to the point where, like I said, the mob boss finally shows up. He wants to know what the hell's going on. Mr. White is standing there. They're yelling at him about about something going wrong. Mr. Pink is like, everybody calm the fuck down, which another really funny part of it is I didn't even notice this the first time, a couple times I watched it, but Mr. Pink, when they go into the Mexican standoff, they're all pointing their guns at each other. They're like, take that gun off my dad or I'll kill you. He's like, well, you kill him, I'll kill you. And they're just going about it. I never noticed that Buscemi had slid himself underneath of the ramp that Mr. Orange was laying under. He slid himself underneath of there when all the gunfire starts, and he just kind of weasels his way back out of there, like right after everybody goes down, which is kind of fun. And he walks over, grabs a bag of jewels, and walks out. Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, Mr. White is trying to his last couple breaths of life, he's trying to make Mr. Orange feel better, who took a slug to the chest, and now has one in the chest and one in the gut, by the way. He tells him he's a cop, which I think he kind of just let that one slide, let it go. And he puts the gun up to his head and threatens to shoot him, and then the cops show up. So these cops are the worst cops in the world, because they were supposed to show up as soon as that dude walked in the door, and they showed up like 20 minutes later after everybody had shot each other, and he's like, don't move or we'll shoot you. So he shoots Mr. Orange, and they shoot him, and he gets away, and that's how it ends. So everybody dies except for Mr. Pink, who's the cheapest motherfucker of them all, who won't even throw in for a
tip the lady
for a tip.
Did they ever say why he was Mr. Pink? Like, did he just kind of?
He just picked the boss picked their names, and he's like, well, why can't we pick our own names? And he's like, no, the last time I tried this, I let you pick your own name. Everybody wanted to be Mr. Black, and nobody wanted to give up on it. So nobody. So we ended up taking 10 hours to do this. You're Mr. Pink. He's like, well, how about Mr. Purple? He's like, you're Mr. Pink.
He's also Elaine's dad on Seinfeld. That's the same guy.
Oh, from like
Lawrence Tierney.
With
Tierney.
Who makes him turn the coat inside out?
Yeah.
You gonna wear the pink liner?
But this was, it came out in 1992. It was Tarantino's first directorial debut. I graduated high school in 92, which is kind of funny because there were a lot of people, like at prom, those skinny ties that they were all wearing, that was like the hot shit for prom that year. And everybody wore those fucking things at prom. I had a bow tie, so that was cute. But
Vic, right now I am waiting on Corey's rebuttal. And I was trying to kind of help you out. Okay, here's one. So, when you Google top mafia movies, you find such classics as obviously The Godfather, The Godfather Part 2, Casino, The Departed, Donnie Brasco, The Godfather Part 3, American Gangster. Even you'll even notice there's even Mobsters, Boondock Saints.
Which is
analyze that.
Boondock Saints is less
but no mention of Reservoir Dogs.
First of all, Boondock Saints is less of a mafia movie than this one is.
That's true.
And it's on that list. So
I know, because then you go to Ranker, and it is 16th. So, I have to give the nod to Vic on that.
Where's
I'm going to
Goodfellas?
classify it as a mafia movie.
Where's Goodfellas at on that list?
That'd be 3.
Okay, just checking.
I saw a list, too, that had Goodfellas.
But
I looked at the top 30 list of mafia movies also on another site, and Goodfellas was ranked number 14, and Reservoir Dogs was 16. So it's 2 points below yours. It depends on what media you're looking at. So,
in all honesty, I obviously you said on IMDb. I looked on even on Wikipedia. They've got it listed. They say he's a mafia boss, but I don't ever remember them saying that he was a mafia boss.
they talk about it when they talk about Vic Vegas coming out of jail.
Yeah.
About the fact that he's a made man. He's a wise guy that went to jail for his boss and kept his mouth shut. Did his time. When he came out, they were going to do right by him. They talk about the whole mafia structure.
That's mafia shit right there.
The whole mafia structure right there in the thing.
You may want to veer off and tack a different way, because I'm giving Vic that.
All right, that's fine.
I mean, and the classification of your movie also, if you look it up, it says it's a crime thriller. It doesn't say it's a mafia movie. This is a crime thriller. Same listing as mine.
Well,
crime
it may
thriller.
say it's a crime
That's what
thriller.
it is.
However, it is a true story about Henry Hill.
Oh, that's your defense. Your strong offense is going right into your argument. All right, let's do it.
Henry Hill, played by Ray Liotta, he was a member of the mob, and in the film, Robert De Niro and Joe Pesci's character, along with Henry Hill, they all plan. They do this robbery, and then throughout the film, De Niro and Pesci's character both start killing off everybody else, and they start moving up the ranks in the family. And Ray Liotta doesn't like where it's going because they're starting to get big, and he starts to freak out halfway through the movie. He starts selling coke. Then at one point, ends up having to dump a shit ton of coke, and he eventually ends up getting arrested in the end.
It does the one thing that you hate in those movies.
What's that?
He ends up needing some stitches. So what's he do? He becomes a snitch.
Well, yeah. Well,
and what have we figured out every time we talk about this?
Oh, snitches get stitches.
yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. So
Show.
he may have got the stitches, but he ended up getting a movie made about him, along with the book.
Ray Liotta didn't.
No, Henry Hill did.
I was talking about Ray Liotta.
Yeah, well, he was playing that character. Anyhow, Goodfellas actually won 3 Academy Awards. One for Best Actor, Joe Pesci, Best Picture, and Best Supporting Actress, Valerian Bracco. And when you look at the cast, yeah, sure, your movie had Keitel, and it had Tim Roth and Michael Madsen. However, mine had De Niro, Pesci, Ray Liotta, Paul Sorvino, Lorraine Bracco. This was
I know it was a farm league for The Sopranos.
Directed by
Martin Scorsese, your fucking go-to whenever anyone says anything about a mafia. That's what you have to go back to. I know. And De Niro and everybody else, it's always the same thing with you.
Yeah.
Never anything different. You always go the safe route.
How's that safe? I'm just stating facts. I mean, yeah, I love Reservoir Dogs. I mean, if you listen to our top 100, you already know that that's number 1 on my list. However,
as opposed to 91 on your list for Goodfellas.
Yeah, but that list is based on my favorite, how much I really liked it. Yeah, I like this, but this is a better film than Reservoir Dogs. But I liked Reservoir Dogs a lot better, just because it is what it is. Reservoir Dogs is what got me into filmmaking. Reservoir Dogs is what made me want to be a filmmaker, and so that's why that gets so much credit.
So it's to you, it's a better film. It's got you have more of a connection to that film.
I didn't say it's a better film.
Which is why people
I said
should watch
Goodfellas.
it.
I said Goodfellas was a better film. Reservoir Dogs inspired me. However, as a film itself,
What did Goodfellas do for you?
What?
What Goodfellas do for you?
Not much. That's
all I need to know.
But I'm not. What I'm saying is, as far as inspiration, no, it didn't do anything. Reservoir Dogs did because of the low budgetness and it being Tarantino's first film. And I saw it back in probably, I think I saw it in like '94. So that's what started the whole ball rolling. Goodfellas, I didn't see probably for a few years later. Hell, it came out in '90, but I didn't even see it until a few years later. And while I enjoyed it, while I liked it, it didn't stick with me like Reservoir Dogs did.
Which is why our listeners should watch Reservoir Dogs over Goodfellas.
That doesn't mean that Reservoir Dogs is a better film.
That's not what this show's about.
Yeah.
This is about...
Ballsy move using the plural version of listener.
But anyhow...
That's the good one chime we have here on the show, otherwise known as put your fucking goddamn phone on silent, Vic.
But anyhow, this ended up with, actually, it won 1 Oscar. It has 42 award wins and 24 nominations in total. On IMDb, since we're so inclined to use it.
Well, we know that might not be true now at this point, according to you. So that could all be you going on there going, hold on, I got this show today. I'm just going to add and pump those numbers a little bit.
It is ranked number 17 out of every movie on IMDb. So I'm not real sure where. Let me see where Reservoir Dogs is. Let's see, there it is, and we come up with number 77.
It's time for commercials.
I feel like we should have leg warmers on.
Yeah. Think that would have helped you fuck up that segment even more?
Nope.
All right. So here's where you can find the Showdown. You can find us on Facebook, the Showdown Podcast. Click like. Somebody should. You can follow us on Twitter at the Showdown Pod. Vic?
You can find me on Instagram and Facebook. At MillerKing51, and you can also find me on Xbox One at Black and Angry. That's BLAQ and Angry.
Brent?
You can find me on Xbox One at Black and Angry.
Brother!
All the links are at BrentComedy.com, but my last name is TERHUNE, but Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram.
And don't forget, August 7th.
I forgot to plug my own album. My album drops. That's the correct terminology. August 7th on iTunes. It's called Mr. Turkey. If you don't listen to it, go review it and give me a good review anyway.
Shit is fire.
Do they still say album dropping?
I do.
What do you mean they, Corey?
The whole plan
Yeah,
was
why-
I'm talking about artists in general.
I wanted to drop mine in the early 2000s, so this is my chance.
And you can find me, BradScottComedy.com, at IndieBradScott on Twitter, and on this horrible podcast, the Showdown Podcast. All right, I think that's everybody.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
You can find me on Instagram, Twitter, and Letterboxd at MKO Gonzo.
She wants that letterbox date.
She.
All right, welcome back to the show. All right, hope you enjoyed those commercials as much as I did.
Letterbox D have like a black thing around it?
I don't even know.
Just wonder.
Yeah, it's D, and then it's got a black bar after the D. Letterbox.
The Letterbox D is a bigger website than the Letterbox Y. And it is. Anyways, that didn't make any sense. I forgot Letterbox D didn't imply race. Anyways, all right, Brent, have you made a decision?
It was a tough decision over in the decision box. I went over and thought about it, but the movie I would like to see, or people should see, I think, is Reservoir Dogs, because it's not your typical mafia movie, but it still is a mafia movie. And, but
He's staring at me.
I'm staring at you too.
It's not the traditional one, and it leaves a lot to the imagination, which I like, because they don't show the heist, and then you never really know what happens, so it's kind of a snapshot.
Which is a cool thing.
Yeah, it's a cool thing. It's a snapshot, but I still like Goodfellas, so, it's a good movie, it's just the debating was bad. I'm just joking.
So that is a point for Vic. Now this was really hard for me because jokes aside, Brent was right. Corey was just awful with debating this movie. But as we've seen, sometimes that doesn't matter. Sometimes the movie he picks is just good enough that he can't even get in his own way. And Goodfellas is my second favorite movie. It's been recorded. We've done an episode. I'm on record. It's my second favorite movie ever. But Vic's going to take the win. You were that bad. Can I point out, first of all, why you at no point in time ever said or even referenced probably the most iconic scene.
Oh my God.
This is being reenacted by children. I didn't realize that.
Funny. You're really funny.
Oh, that's hilarious. They're actually dressed like him and everything.
It's a good story. It's funny. You're a funny guy. The way I talk? What? It's just, it's funny. You're funny. It's, how you tell a story and everything.
Funny how? What's so funny about it? Tommy, you got it all wrong. Whoa, Anthony. He's a big boy. He knows what he said. What'd you say? Funny how?
Just,
what?
Just, you're funny.
Let me understand this. Maybe it's me. Maybe I'm messed up, maybe. But I'm funny how? Funny like a clown? I amuse you? I'm here to make you laugh. I amuse you? Tell me I'm funny.
This kid is 9 years old.
Just,
how does this only have 216 views?
No, I don't.
We need to push
You
that.
said it. How do I know? You said I'm funny. Tell me what's so funny. Tell me what's so funny.
All right, I guess that's the end of that.
Okay, yeah. So those kids actually argued that movie better than you did. Big shout out to Eddie Mendoza. Now, I'm kind of concerned that this might just be a pedophile doing this for his own game. Eddie looks a little creepy in his YouTube pic. But Eddie, that was funny.
So who won this?
That would be Vic.
Oh, I messed up the whole thing.
Welcome to the showdown. You are officially a co-host. But
There it is.
yeah, Vibert, we're going to steal all your shit. Next thing you know, that pretty little co-host of yours is going to be sitting in here with the showdown. But yeah, Corey just was awful. You summed up the biography of Henry Hill, which took 2.5 hours for Scorsese to tell the story, and you told it in about 45 seconds.
Yeah, but did you really want
This
me to sit there and
guy
tell the
sold
whole
coke,
thing?
and then he got arrested. And yeah, you left out so many iconic moments. And granted, it was my second favorite movie ever, but I kind of put more expectations on you to reaffirm to me that it's a better movie. Vic had your number. He had your number this week. So Vic, you are the new reigning champion.
I feel good.
Congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
That's enough out of you. So let's talk about. We have a good subject here. If you were in the mafia, and then you flipped,
You turned rat.
and you have
stitches.
you have to move for the witness protection program. Where are you going to go, Brent? Let's start with you.
I'm a big fan of Breaking Bad, and when he goes into not necessarily the program, but he gets his new ID and stuff, he goes to New Hampshire and lives in that the cabin in the woods, and I just think that's fun to not have to ever talk to anybody. So I'd go to New Hampshire just like Walter White.
Corey?
Does it have to be the United States? Do they ever relocate out of the States?
No, they don't. Do you have to make this complicated?
No, I'm
just wondering. I don't think they do.
I don't know. I'm on it.
I think it has to be the like.
Is that something that would be online? Yes, we do relocate people out of the state.
Well, if it's like the movies, they moved what's his name, the family over to. Did you see that movie? The family. Yeah, they moved them over to freaking
Italy or something.
No, it was like not Scotland or something like that. They kept moving them because they kept blowing shit up. They sent them to France. They blew up the bakery in there, like all kinds of shit.
If it's in the United States, I'd probably go with, I'd probably go with, I know this seems weird, but I'd probably go with Seattle. Yeah. I'm a Mariners fan, so,
so you can't go places that you're a fan of because that's where they'll look for you. You gotta be
true.
Oh, yeah.
They tell you that stuff.
Fucking dumb logo for your profile picture. So they would know immediately.
Well, I'd close the Facebook.
It looks like it is stateside. There says nothing of anybody going overseas here when you Wikipedia witness United States Federal Witness Protection. So where are you going to go? You're going...
Well,
Seattle's probably not a good option.
Yes, if you're saying Seattle's out, maybe... I don't know. How warm does it get in New Mexico?
It gets hot.
Doesn't it?
I was just there last summer.
It's probably like dry heat, though, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, but it's still fucking hot. Like, that dry heat doesn't make any sense when it's 110 degrees.
Yeah.
But the cool thing about New Mexico is everything looks like stone. It looks like the old cowboy and Indian play sets from the Wild West back in the day. Like, it looks really cool. That wouldn't be a bad spot. If you could deal with the heat, that wouldn't be a bad spot.
Yeah, I hate the heat, though. And I hate the cold, too. So, you're looking at the middle of the United States.
So you're probably wanting to go to what? Santa Monica?
No.
Colorado.
San Diego?
Colorado.
He wants to go to Colorado.
We'll just say it, Colorado.
Colorado? Vic?
So I'm going to push the envelope. I'm going to force him to send me to Hawaii.
I'm
going to force him to send me to Hawaii.
That's where I was born.
One of the small islands somewhere.
Aloha, my friend.
Wow. One a small island somewhere. He'll hook me up with a little beachside bungalow. I'm there.
And then Dog the Bounty Hunter comes out.
Just check on you. Brad, where would you go?
I'd go to the goddamn ground because snitches get stitches and I don't fucking snitch. So that's not an option for me. I would be dead. But if I was forced.
If you were forced.
Go to LA, try to become a star.
The idea is to remain low-key.
Ain't that Bradley doing that?
Did you see that TV show with that comedy I was on last night? I could have swore it was Brad.
I'd go on Last Comic Standing because nobody...
It reminds me of Joe Dirt when it's Christopher Walken. Isn't he from the Witness Protection Program? I'm from New Jersey. Somewhere else.
Now, if you were in the mafia before you get put in the witness protection program, what job would you want? Like, because they all have the money laundering business fronts that they run. So what would be your ideal business to run? Well,
I'm laundering money through laser tag. Like they should have done on Walter White. Would have solved all their problems.
Laser tag?
Hell yeah. Clean money, baby. Clean money. Now, I would probably do... I think if I were to do anything, I would do I would probably do a big time store of some sort, like a specialty store of some sort,
or a Kroger,
a specialty store of some sort, some kind of specialty store, like a restaurant or a deli or something
got
like
rich
that.
off managing that Cabela's down across from the BW3s.
Bitches are always in here, and I always got money, so it don't matter. But like a deli or something like that.
Oh, a deli.
Yeah, something like that.
Corey?
Well, okay, so it would be before I went witness protection. I don't know. It's a good question. I was thinking a bakery at first because you get free donuts and whatnot. I don't know. I go with I'll say that or
bakery.
Yeah, maybe bakery. Yeah.
I want to say car lot.
Yeah, you guys are really picking some shitty places to hide millions of dollars.
Yeah, there's places inside the bakery. You know, fake. You can have fake
No,
bread.
the idea isn't just a place where you hide the money. You're covering up the money that's coming in. So you're funneling it through this fake business. Okay. That's why, like, strip clubs are really popular, car lots.
But they're also the first place they look at.
That was actually going to be my answer. I was going to do a sports bar with a strip club and a comedy club in the basement and make the outside a fucking castle.
Hey, Brad, how many people are we expecting at the show today?
About 350.
How come there's only 20 people?
The rest paid cash.
They bought their tickets online and never showed up.
Yeah.
But no, yeah, so like a bakery's kind of a shitty.
Yeah.
But the
I see
cannolis.
that now.
So where would you go? Like a restaurant's a good one because you could do high-end menus and charge a lot for each entree and stuff.
You could do, how about, what's that restaurant downtown that everybody loves to go to?
St. Elmo's?
St. Elmo's. Yeah, Steak and Shake. Yeah, that one works too.
$50 for
St. Elmo's would be a perfect one because like Rob Lowe goes in there whenever he's in town.
They filmed
What about
Arrested
Cable
Development.
He goes to Steak and Shake. Yeah.
They filmed Parks and Rec in there.
By the way, Rob Lowe is magical. Can we all agree on that?
We're back to
there's
this
something
again.
about Rob Lowe because there's a new.
Rob Lowe's magical.
There's a
What's
new.
Your Name's a Vampire.
There's a new. Is it Discovery Channel, I think, or History Channel that does the. They did the series where it was the '80s and it was in like 3 2-hour parts and it's Rob Lowe narrating shit that happens through the decades and everything else. And then they did it for the 90s, and they just did it for 2000 to 2010, which I was like, really? We need to get nostalgic?
So it's like,
go back 5 years ago.
80s.
Yeah, kind of, yeah.
Did it have pop-up videos?
About it, yeah. But Rob Lowe narrates it, and his voice is just magical and enchanting. I swear to God, it should be on demand, or they'll probably rerun it another 100 times. Start watching it. If you could turn it off after 5 minutes of hearing that man's voice, you're a better man than I am.
Who would you guys want to narrate your life?
I think we already know who Brad wants to narrate his.
If I couldn't have Rob Lowe, though, I think I'd want the guy from The Wonder Years.
Wasn't that Richard Dreyfuss?
No, that was the actual guy that wrote the whole story.
He brought his own feature. This just killed my weekend.
Famous voiceover guys, of course, are like Morgan Freeman or Sam Elliott.
Beef. What's for dinner?
I don't know if I'd want Morgan Freeman doing it.
No.
Because you've heard that so much.
I gotta go with Samuel L. Jackson, though. That would be
Really?
hilarious.
You're gonna steal mine? Fucker.
Hey, I said it first.
I'd go with, I think his name is Gene Shepard, the guy who narrates Christmas Story.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I hate that movie, but...
You're dumb.
I hate a lot of movies people love, though. I don't know why. Vic?
It was going to be Samuel Jackson, but he took mine, so...
You know what, though? Believe me, Sam will take both words. Like, Vinny...
Come on, did you hear him go to fuck to sleep? It was great.
Yeah, he doesn't turn down work.
We're going to talk about...
The Phenomenon?
Possibly one of the greatest films...
You can't say film.
That's ever been made. I'm, of course, referring to Sharknado 3, Oh Hell No, which just premiered a few days ago.
And yes, we realize it doesn't have anything to do with mafia movies.
No, but it's glorious. It's that good.
We have to stay current.
So, Vic, you are a fan of the franchise.
I am.
So, what were your thoughts?
So, starting from the beginning, the first one I watched, I literally I didn't know it existed. I didn't know it was coming. I turned on the TV and it just says Sharknado on the screen. I was like, really? I'm in. I was about to get up and go somewhere. I just sat the fuck back down, grabbed my iPad, logged on. And I'm like, does anyone else see this Sharknado shit on Sci-Fi? And there was 50 other people. 50 other people were like, yeah, I'm watching it now. It became this big old thing. But this one, watching this one, I was like, where the fuck are they gonna go now? But I literally I'm sitting there having conversations with my television, going, at some point someone's just gonna fucking kill Ian Ziering, because if they haven't figured it out, these fucking tornadoes are following this dude. And sure enough, that's the first thing they say on the damn.
Well, that's the whole brilliance behind this franchise is with the original one. That's what they wanted.
Right.
They wanted for you to flip through the channels and go, what the fuck is a Sharknado? It's so bad. It's the king, the new king of the so bad It's good. Much like this podcast.
It's gone full circle and it just flipped around from bad to good.
The thing that I don't understand the phenomenon myself. I mean, if you look at Asylum's track record and look at all their movies, it's all the same. I mean, they're not doing anything different that they haven't done in other movies.
It's the asinine. It's how asinine the idea of this whole phenomenon is. Like the fact that there's a tornado that's flinging sharks everywhere. Mm-hmm. Like it's so ridiculous.
Three-headed shark isn't ridiculous.
It is, but it is.
Croctopus.
It is, but
no,
Sharktopus.
Whatever.
The thing about these movies, like I fell in love with these movies the minute Ian Ziering went through a great white with a chainsaw. And for those of you who haven't yet watched Sharknado 3, long overdue.
We already said spoilers at the beginning of the episode. So
the ending of Sharknado 3, I'm going to put it up there with 7. With The Empire Strikes Back.
What's in the aquarium?
Well, I'll tell you what.
What's inside the burning shark?
The shark falls, and as he's looking for April, Tara Reid's character, she cuts herself out of a shark's stomach, but you don't see April.
No.
Not first.
Not at all.
No. You see his child that had been born inside the belly of the shark.
As she was falling from space.
She had the baby.
Yeah.
Cut the umbilical cord, probably with a rib.
Well, no, she had that saw.
Oh, yeah, she had that saw hand. Puts the baby out of the shark, and then climbs out unscathed. Introduces Ian Ziering to his son. Then proceeds...
But she came out of the side of that shark like she was coming out of a gigantic vagina.
See, that was the whole point.
Yeah,
that was the imagery.
That's what I'm saying. That was hilarious. That was
just
funny.
shows-
It's like gravity.
It's like the bird. Life will find a way. And after she presents the baby and she goes to pick up Ian Ziering's father, played masterfully by David Hasselhoff, who I'm pretty sure was drunk in every scene that he was in. I mean, I could smell the alcohol in his breath through the screen.
He watches Ric Flair.
Picks up his pilot wings that he was giving to the baby, and a piece of shrapnel falls from the sky. And you think she's dead, but oh no. Sci-Fi is putting it up to a vote from people, and the results will be revealed when else?
In
Sharknado 4.
Well, the ridiculous part is, like, how many times is this bitch going to get eaten, bitten, like, crushed, toppled over by something
It's
and
just not
get
realistic.
up? And get back up!
I'm not buying the realism in this. I tell you what, though,
Sharks in space.
This is my idea for her to come back alive. But here's
Sharknado 5: Return to the Hood.
It's in Compton. They're all the Crips and the Blood get together to shoot at sharks.
Finally, they're united.
One common enemy.
Okay, so the opening scene of Sharknado 4, they're all sitting around in the hotel lobby, and the doctor wheels somebody out in a wheelchair. The head's all bandaged up because that's where the thing smashed out on her. He undoes the bandages, and it's her, but now she's half robot because she's already got like half her arm is all robotic because you saw the one scene where she put the glove back on and it's all robotic hand. Did you notice that when she put the glove back on, she had a wedding ring on over the glove? Because that was one little thing that I noticed I thought was hilarious.
I did not see the movie, but I would like her to come back. And your scenario, but they unwrap it, and she's got a shark head.
Oh, that's what I was thinking he was going to say.
Shark robot.
That's what I was thinking he was going to say, but he went with the cyborg.
I'm a little late on this for Corey, but...
Hey, that's a good idea. I like that idea.
So speaking of mashups, what would be your dream animal, reptilian, just your dream mashup? As we said, Sharknado, Sharktopus, to give you an idea. let's go ahead and Brent.
When you said croctopus, I pictured an octopus, but it's wearing Crocs.
It's got 8 Crocs on. It's just flopping around. No one's afraid of it.
The douchiest octopus ever. He's also got like a PBR in one of those. Wearing glasses with no lenses.
Yeah.
It's like the fucking Squidbillies.
That's the trio.
Squidsters. Vic?
Well, can we
wait,
talk about the different combinations? Because that could, because you have volcanoes, and you have sharks, and you have what?
Well, are we talking animal matchups, or are we just...
No, just any mashup.
Okay.
Any mashup along those lines.
Because you said there's
Sharkano's coming.
Sharkano.
And they had Lavalantula came on right after Sharknado.
What was Lavalantula?
Lavalantula were gigantic tarantulas that spit lava. They were lava tarantulas. Lavalantulas.
Oh, that sounds great.
And Gutenberg was fighting them. Along with Nia Peoples and that little redheaded kid from Sandlot.
Wait, really?
Yeah, he was in it.
You throw lava like a girl.
It was crazy. But
I'm going to take the dog from Sandlot and mash it up. I didn't think it through. I just want the dog from Sandlot.
with something.
With the dog from Airbud. I'm going to take... Hold on. I got one.
Okay, yeah.
I'm going to take Bill Cosby and put him in Hulk Hogan's tank top.
Okay. I don't know where it's going with that. How about, what is that, a sand...
Call him Bill Hogan.
How about, what is that, a sandstorm and scorpion? How would you...
We're getting pretty close to some,
that would be like a dust stinger. Like Dust Devil.
Dust Scorpion.
Dust Scorpion?
Yep. But the scorpions are a little bit bigger. They're a little mutated.
It's kind of a weak storm, I think, to put in there, though. Because, like, a Sharknado, you could just... It's vicious. Like, Sandstorm, I just, like...
Sandstorm
won't live in India.
No. It starts out in the desert, out in New Mexico, and makes its way east.
Yeah, but then, like, if Indiana gets hit, and it's coming from, like, the lakes, I mean, it's just going to be a bunch of syringes, and...
Yeah, it makes it even more deadly. It's more deadly that way.
I'm going to take giant mutated lizards, and there's going to be a whole bunch of snow, so we're going to call it Lizard Blizzard. Or Blizzard Lizard. I don't know.
I'm trying to think of a natural disaster. I'm trying to think of something to go with typhoon, or either typhoon or a tidal wave.
Typhurkeys?
It's like a bunch of turkeys.
It's just a bunch of Brit Tribune albums and hitting the...
It's coming in high.
It's Typhurkey.
They say it sounds like a freight train. No, it sounds like a turkey.
A bear-foon? Just a wave of grizzly bears. Just hitting. There's the loser game show.
Earthquake? What do you pair with an earthquake?
Let's see.
Elephant.
Yeah, but how would the elephant...
Yeah, I don't think you could do an earthquake.
Well, you could. You'd have to have something that would sprawl out, though.
It'll sprawl out.
Because an earthquake is kind of the ground... in this scenario, it wouldn't just be like a shake.
Okay.
It would be the ground splitting.
Okay, so coming out of the ground then.
Yeah. Maybe you could use that megalodon shark that Discovery Channel tries to force everyone to believe is real.
It is real.
They have a tooth.
I actually read an article about that today. Like, Discovery Channel, like, that is probably how, like, horror fans view Sharknado. That's how scientists view Discovery Channel now. Seriously, how sad is that?
But they're making... the bottom line is making money, so...
Yeah, but, like, I don't know. At some point, is there no ethics or... You're the Discovery Channel. Like, you can't do... Well, the whole thing about mermaids.
Isn't that
treated as a documentary? And the problem is, they're not saying that it's fake at the beginning. They're just saying that some are stage reenactments. But you should let people know that, like, 99% of it
Like, the only one that's not is this weird little creature that we saw that's actually a fish. It looks like a mermaid.
My mom was watching, I think it was the Discovery Channel, and it was like a found footage thing where, this guy died, but then they found his footage, and his friends are talking about the expedition. But it shot like a documentary, but then you finally see like the ape things in the jungle, and you're like, I don't think this is real. Because my mom was like, "Oh, it's real," and so
she thought she was watching the actual documentary.
But when I watched it, I'm like, I think it's real, but it's not. So
and then
they fake this shit really well.
Yeah, and I'm like, that's CGI.
Then there's credits at the end.
Yeah.
That's what they did.
But they didn't say that it was fake or anything. So,
and that's what they did with the shark thing,
Yeah.
like a year or two ago, where it was like supposed to be the found footage on where the people are in the ocean, and it's a shark that's hunting each of them.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, fake as fuck. Never happened. But they don't ever tell you that. Remember when the Blair Witch did that, and people actually thought that was it? I thought
everybody
and
and their mom
previews.
was running around thinking that thing was.
Rewatching that, terrible movie.
Oh yeah, but
Doesn't stand up.
But you have to remember when you watched it at the time, like it was very creepy, very original, very well done.
They marketed it well.
I think we've talked more about the Blair Witch Project on this show than the actual people that were in the Blair Witch Project do nowadays.
They were like, "Weren't you the button?" No.
Yeah, that's the. We need a group me or something. That's the show. That's how we're ending it. Yeah, I'm just as surprised as you are. And honestly, if you're still listening to us after that PopCon episode, God bless you.
We thank you.
That counts as your community service.
Now that I thought about it, as we're rolling out here, they had a zombie in Z Nation. It was a zombie tornado.
Was that like a spit off?
Completely bit off of it.
Like Asian Idol?
Pretty much.